boldly, openly supportive of all that stuff as Rent, and we still could use it in our world for sure. I mean, things have gotten better in a lot of ways, but also there's a lot of progress to be made still. But we were very happy, and that was part of the reason we weren't necessarily expecting mainstream embrace, and yet it happened. So that was cool. Yes, and that.
And working in the film media, how do you feel it's different from going from like a musical in the film media to like A Beautiful Mind, like a serious straight drama? I mean, like, was that difficult making the two transfers?
He's asking me like the difference between doing a musical on film, or just doing musicals in general.
A musical on film
versus doing like a regular movie. The thing that's in common is you're telling stories, and you're playing characters, and you're on location, and all those things are the same. And the only big difference really is that sometimes you're singing. And then there's the technical thing on a musical, where you have to. It's sort of, you're kind of working backwards in a way. You rehearse it as you would with anything, but then you go into the studio to record it because you have to sing. When you're filming it, you're singing along with yourself. It's not really lip syncing because that means that you're. No, we were actually singing on set. It's just they're not recording our voice. But while you're in the studio recording the music, you're committing your performance before you filmed it. So that's the only thing that's a little strange. But again, because we were so familiar with the material, because it's so much a part of our blood, that wasn't so much a concern. And then once you've done that, they give you a recording, a copy of it, so you can really get used to it, all the nuances of it. And then, other than that, basically it's just the same thing. You show up and you rehearse your scenes and you shoot them, and sometimes you're singing. As opposed to standing around with Russell Crowe, But basically the same kind of thing. And in our case too, because the crew wasn't necessarily familiar with the show, all of them, it was cool to witness them on the movie set start to become familiar and start to fall in love with it and start to feel like, come up to us and say, this is really amazing, and want to know more about Jonathan and all that stuff. That doesn't necessarily happen on a drama like A Beautiful Mind, which is much more sort of formal. Rent kind of tends to spread the love a little bit more. Okay, in the back, yes.